Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. The sun hadn't yet risen over Westminster, but the city already buzzed with the tension of an unexpected political storm. Somewhere between the quiet desperation of early commuters and the echo of sirens bouncing off steel and stone, Britain had woken to a headline that sent shockwaves through its political core. GMB's major migrant update sparks uproar, and it's bad news for Starmer. At first glance, the morning's revelations seemed impossible. The GMB union, one of the largest and most influential trade unions in the UK, had just announced a seismic shift in its long-standing stance on immigration, releasing a blistering statement that not only criticized the Labour Party's approach to migrant labor, but explicitly withdrew its support from several of Keir Starmer's flagship employment policies. The move came after months of internal discontent within the union ranks. For years, GMB had stood shoulder to shoulder with Labour, their alliance forged in the factories, shipyards, and kitchens of Britain's working class. But now, something had snapped. In a cramped corner office at Labour HQ, Starmer sat at his desk, his phone vibrating incessantly, each buzz delivering fresh political bruises. An aide rushed in with a copy of the GMB statement. "We cannot, in good conscience, continue to back a party that refuses to confront the exploitative reality of unchecked migrant labor. Working people are being undercut, industry is being hollowed out, and the Labour leadership? Silent." It was a direct hit. Not just a policy dispute, but a betrayal. Starmer ran a hand through his graying hair, reading the words again. For months, he had tried to walk a tightrope, offering vague promises of fairness and balance, while avoiding any firm stance that could alienate either the left or the center. Now, the rope had snapped. Outside Westminster, in the steel town of Redbridge, the fallout was already being felt. Janet Moore, a third-generation welder and lifelong Labour voter, stood on the factory floor watching her colleagues scroll furiously through their phones. "Did you see this?" one asked. "GMB's finally saying what we've been thinking for years." Janet didn't reply right away. Her father had fought alongside union men to save this plant from closure in the 80s. She had rallied behind Labour candidates, spoken at local meetings, even campaigned during the Brexit vote. But in recent years, she had watched the party drift further from the lives of people like her. Migrant workers had become the unspoken issue. Good people, many of them, but trapped in a system that saw them as cheap labor. Local wages had stagnated, work contracts had been slashed, and Labour, once their voice, had offered only polished sound bites and TV debates. Later that day, the GMB announcement dominated every news cycle. Right-wing outlets weaponized it gleefully, while the left scrambled to contain the damage. Starmer made a hasty appearance on national television, pledging a full review of Labour's labor policies. But it was too little, too late. In the pub that evening, Janet overheard a group of younger workers talking. "Think I'll vote reform," one said. "You mad? Tories will gut us," another replied. "Labour already has." The words cut deep. Not because they were angry or radical, but because they were tired. The Labour Party was losing not just votes, but trust. Back in London, Starmer looked out across the Thames, lights flickering on the water. The GMB blow wasn't just political, it was personal. A symbol of a deeper fracture, one he'd hoped to patch over with centrist policies and cautious language. But Britain was changing, and the tide, long ignored, was now roaring.